Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where this is episode 2 of restoring, rebuilding, whatever you want to call, on this 77 Chevrolet Malibu Classic Landau Coupe. Full name, it's got a real long name. Okay, doesn't look too awful bad, but this thing's going to start looking a lot worse because we're basically changing all the body over. I already made the first video. I went over the history of it, stuff like that. If you haven't watched the first video, go ahead and watch that, get you up to date. She's all Bondo and rust. A friend of mine used to own this car. He used to drive it on the beach every day. Salt air, salt rotted the whole thing out. He brought it to me. We put in new floors, new trunk. I started grinding away on all the cracks and everything. Ended up being a whole bunch of old Bondo and rust under there where he had got it fixed before. Didn't tell me that he's had it fixed a couple of times. And there's no way to fix it other than replacing panels. So got a parts car. Like I said, I went over everything in the first video. We got a parts car. We're going to change over the roof, the quarter panels, the deck lid, the doors, maybe the fenders, and maybe the hood. I've got them. I just don't know when we're gonna have to get into it. We're hopefully this video, I'm a couple of videos ahead, so the last video on this has not aired yet, so I haven't seen the comments. You know, it's thinking, well, if you were just going to sell it, you could probably just fix the little cracks and give it a quick paint job and sell it. Yeah, I could. I really could. In fact, I think that's probably what Art wanted to do. Not sell it, but just see all these they're Bondo cracks, and it's Bondo cracking because of the rust behind it. It's just a real friggin' mess. Quarter panels, doors, all bubbling because it's Bondoed over rust. Could I smooth it out? And because that's Art says, well, can't you just smooth it out, fix the cracks? So, which I did 10 years ago. But I told him it's not going to last. You know, I don't know how long it took for these cracks to reappear. It's been sitting outside for the last 10 years here. Art used to keep it under a car cover. But I was like, well, Art, you went, put in new floors, new trunk, paid me to do that. Let's go ahead and get new quarters, roof. But of course, they only make new quarters. They didn't make new doors, roofs, deck lids, and stuff like that. So we had to find them used. And for about 9 years, I couldn't find anything, or cheaply enough anyway. But I finally got a parts car, and Art got a parts car. Well, he lost interest in it and said no. So I bought it from him. So it's mine now. I don't want to rig it. See all this stuff here. I don't want to just sand it down, Bondo up the cracks, quick paint job and sell it, because it's I got the parts now. I might as well fix it and fix it right. Okay, so hopefully we can, I want to grind some of this down so you can see what I'm talking about. 2 inches thick Bondo, quarter panels, these areas of the roof, there's all little pieces of metal welded in here and brazed. The window channel here is all rotted out. These, I believe these are just siliconed in there because there's clips and everything were just rotted off. Okay, so let's go over to the parts car and I'll show you what I got done so far. We're fixing to bring this up in front of the shop, and what we're going to get started on this video is taking out bunch of the interior. There's a warped plastic piece right there for the interior. That fell down. That holds the back of the headliner in. We're gonna have to take out the whole headliner, sun visors, trim, interior light, seat belts. Probably gonna have to take out the back seat so we can get that rear deck out of there, because that's where we're gonna have to weld in the roof. Pull the back window. Shield. We got to I got the windshield out of the parts car. This one's all cracked. So that's what we're gonna do on this video, is take all that apart and get this roof. We got to take off those weathers. This was new. I found my old notes. This was new 10 years ago. I probably glued it in, but we'll see if we can save it. I don't believe I got the door weather stripping. The parts car, this was glued in there so much you pretty much had to chisel it out with a screwdriver. It was so bad. But anyway, we got to take off this rubber, this black trim that holds the rubber in, and then the chrome. This chrome's all beat up. Anyway, we're gonna have to take off all that, all the window trims, both windows. We're pretty much gonna have to, and bad door pins and stuff. We're gonna have to pretty much get her ready to cut off, which we'll go over to the parts car and I'll show you. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the parts car. Been a great parts car. Used the drivetrain for the white 78 El Camino because this car to me wasn't worth fixing up. El Camino's worth a lot more than this car. And then the body we're going to use on the black one. So it was a complete car. It was a complete running and driving car when I bought it, but nobody offered me shit for it. It just wasn't worth nothing, and it wasn't worth anything worth the time and the effort and the labor and the money to restore this car. Just the black one's a little bit more desirable model. It's a one owner, it's a buckets console, etc, etc. This one was a plain Jane. Okay, so took the doors off, took the fenders off, hood off, deck lid off, and then cut the roof. There's all the parts everywhere. There's one door there, one door's inside, deck lid's inside, glass is all inside. There's the two fenders, there's the hood. Cut off some pieces of metal on the quarters for patch panels. I bought new quarter panels. Got them inside. Okay, so here's the main piece. This is the whole roof. As I showed you where all them Bondo cracks and stuff were all around there. We got to prep this to put it on the car. At least most of it for now, because we're not exactly sure how I'm going to do the front. Okay, I ground down all the rust that was in the window channel and pour 15'd it. Also pour 15'd underneath here where it was rusty. It's a little rusty underneath here, both corners, and behind this area here when the little windows go. Pour 15'd all that area. So what more prep we got to do to this? I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to cut at the front. This is a double layered roof. Got the top skin and a bottom skin. I'm not sure if they're glued together. We're going to find out on the black car. Once we get the black car over here, like I said, we're going to strip all the interior headliner stuff out, and then maybe cut out a piece of the roof and see if it's glued in there. If it's not glued in and the bottom layer is not rusty, we may use that, and then cut this up more of our skin and put this on top of that one. If the bottom layer is all rusty, glued on there, which, you know, if it's glued on there, you're not going to be able to take it off. Then we're just going to have to replace the whole structure and weld it in at the pillar post. Okay, I didn't show you on the other one, but his car was rotting from the inside out. It's all rust underneath here. And there was a little rust bubble like this last time Art was over, or a while back. And I got my thumb and I went like that. And my thumb went right through it. Just got a big old friggin' rust hole. And underneath is all rust. And that's when I told him your car's rotting from the inside out. This hair looks really good underneath, other than those two little corners, which is understandable. Has had the butyl that had dried up and leaked. The back window was barely in there, so water was coming in here, dripping down here. Same with Art's car, and Art's just rotted out a lot more, combined with the salt air, driving on the beach every day for decades. So anyway, yeah, this is not in the best shape, but it's 100 times better than what's on the car. So hopefully we can get this section off of Art's car. Now it's a rainy season. You know, it's supposed to rain tonight. But I'll have to get a tarp or something once I cut the roof off of Art's car. And before I get this on there, I'll have to tarp it up every night. Not just for rain, but for morning dew and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna prep this up a little bit more right now. This side's not too bad, but we're gonna, here's a couple of pieces of metal that I cut out. It's very thick metal. We're gonna leave this car there for a while in case I need any, more scrap metal, more. I know there's some holes in the firewall on Art's. We may have to cut off little pieces and weld them on there. So we're gonna cut this out probably from here down, and cut a piece out of that metal there and weld it in, grind it down, smooth it out, put some primer on it, get this ready. Same with the other side. The other side ain't as rusted as bad, but it's still, it'll end up like this. Yeah, then, you know, I put some Por 15 under there because it's double layered. It's got this layer and the back layer. So I stuck some Por 15 up there, but we're gonna coat it real good, primer it real good and all that. So I think this back half is pretty much ready to weld on the car. Like I said, just gotta worry about the pillar posts and kind of this area here a little bit. That's why we had to take off the back deck. This welds in on the back deck part where the speakers go. We have to take all that out of the black car. Oh, and then we're gonna put in some couple pieces of, or a little piece of metal to cover up these rust holes here and spot weld them in and grind them down. I wanted to pour 15 at first, mainly the back area. Same with this corner here. So yeah, we're gonna get some little pieces of metal, put right in there. That's the only holes in it, just them two bottom corners. Okay, so that's what we're about to do. So let me get started on that before it rains, and I think this will be all right leaving out in the rain. I already poured 15 the rusty areas. Later, I got this dent right here on this roof. Like I said, there's a second layer, so you can't just bang it out. But we'll get the V-Vor stud welder thing, and hopefully a couple little pulls there, and we can pop this out. I could do it while it's on the car, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, this will all have to be stripped down and primed and everything before paint, but that's not too worried about it right now. Okay, let me cut out some of that metal and get some new metal ready to weld in there, and I'll be back, show you how it goes. Okay guys, I cut this out right there. I'm gonna use that as a template to make a patch panel. Yeah, you can see it all rusty there. there's some type of sealant there that trapped in the water. Anyway, I'm going to grind down this and put some 415 on that because I think it's fixing to rain, and I won't be welding it till tomorrow anyway. Okay, let me cut a piece out of that patch panel. I'll be back. Hey guys, use this as a template and cut out this piece and bent it a little bit because it's got a little curve right there, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I just bent it out a little bit because, you know, in actual fact, this is all going to be Bondo anyway. We're joining the quarter and this, but at least it won't be Bondo over rust, and the rust will come back. So anyway, that'll line up there and that'll line up there. We'll weld that in there and grind her down and prime it. But as you can see, everything's all wet. It stopped raining right now for a minute. I'll have to check the radar, see if it's passed through or not. I don't want to get electrocuted welding this up out in the rain. Okay, so we weld that in there and then we'll have to do the other side. But yeah, see, if you bondoed over that and that's what's on the back of it, it's just gonna rot right through and crack. And that's what happened with the black one. It was just all bondoed and stuff over crap like that underneath, and that's why it's just a mess. It has to be replaced. You have to put in new metal or non-rusty used metal. Okay, so let me get that welded in. I'll be back. Okay guys, there it is. Welded it in there and ground it down, and I got some leftover primer here that I'm just gonna dab on with a brush because it's it's fixing to rain. So, well, it rained. I looked at the radar and it said it was gonna stop for an hour and then it's gonna come back over again. So that's here in a few minutes. So anyway, protect it a little bit. Okay, it's getting dark anyway. Come back tomorrow, do the other side, then we'll bring the black car around, start stripping her down. So I'll be back. Okay guys, next day, just cut this area out here and gonna grind down this rust here. Use this as a template just like the other side and make a little patch panel there. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I got her welded in there and fixing to brush some primer on there, and we'll probably go ahead and fix these little holes here on the corners. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, put a battery in it, gallon or so of gas in the tank, and a little bit down the carburetor. She started right up. Yeah, I started it up when I parked it over here. It used to be parked over there about a year ago, but before that it sat for about 9 years without being started. And it started back then, like last year, pretty good. Okay, so we're going to now the only problem with this is the key don't turn off all the way. It won't turn off. It's like that 78 El Camino I had. The key's just stuck to on. You can turn it to start, but it won't come back, see? So anyway, I ordered another ignition lock. It's like 13 bucks. I know some of you say, well, you take it off the brown one. Well, if I do that, I'll ruin the column. I got to take the steering wheel off, and I can get $100 for that column the way it sits without taking it all apart. Yeah, it does have tilt. Is that cruise? Yeah, it's got tilt and cruise on it. So then it's got the gauges, or does it have very many gauges? Clock, volts, temperature, gas, and then this thing here is a gas mileage, minimum and maximum. She may be a little bit low on transmission fluid. Yeah, you got to kind of feather the gas there, that carburetor. And that gas turning brown. I didn't think it was that old. Maybe a couple of months old, but it was all brown looking. The brake's gonna need some work. Was gonna bring it over here and hose down the, maybe I will, hose down all the dust and everything from on the engine. It's pretty filthy under there. Yeah, brakes need to be bled or something. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I just rinsed it off a little bit. Cleaned out a wasp nest and a mouse house that was in here. Seems like it's got an exhaust leak on here, this side. Might have to put headers and dual exhaust on it, and a carbon or an intake and a full barrel. And this was brake fluid. Yeah, the only way I can turn it off is to put a towel over the carburetor. Okay, we wanted to check the doors. I think I checked the power windows. I think I checked them before, but they were really slow. I hear it clicking. Yeah, they're probably just tight. Oh, here it goes. I'm gonna leave it up. I'm gonna have to go with two hands. Yeah, they're really slow. If they're as cheap as the Camaro ones, I think you get Camaro ones for 40 bucks for a pair. If they're that cheap, I'll probably just buy a new pair of motors. Got an old cassette deck in there, here. I don't know if that works. A little bit of rigged wiring. Yeah, see, it won't turn off. Anyway, let me go pull it in front of the shop, put a towel over the carburetor and turn it off, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it this far and it blew a blew a power steering hose. Just blew it all over here, smoke everywhere. I'll have to see if it's which one it is and mess with that, order a new one. Okay, as you can see, there's water still in there, leaking in there. And okay, so this is the deck lid here. You can see it's all rusty there, but this whole back piece was all rotten. That's all like silicone I put on there to keep it from, and I was trying to make it seal in here. And then this is a new but this is all 10 years ago. But But yeah, it's still leaking in there, and it's leaking in there probably from the water getting in the thing and dripping down in there. So this is the whole new trunk floor I put in 10 years ago. And what we're going to do is we're going to scrape that up, vacuum it up, scrape all this loose stuff here, and pour 15 it. I got some cans of pour 15, and we'll fix that. Okay, I think this is that. This is what's left of the rear plastic piece that goes there. Nobody makes that, I don't believe. Glove box and something. Yeah, there's the wheel well chrome for the back. Yeah, I probably took that off. That was all, well, I left it off because we're going to paint it, but, and I don't know what that extra chrome is for. Oh, this is probably, that's that little stick-on door edge guard that that I use for these windows that all turn black. And I don't know if we got another set of rear chrome or what. Anyway, I'm going to clean this stuff out. Like I said, I'm going to pour 15 that, and we'll see if these taillights got all little cracks in them. We'll have to see if the other ones are any better. Probably not. Just all cracks on the reverse lights, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think I took, yeah, see, I took that apart and siliconed it all up. So I was like, Art, it's leaking everywhere. That's what rotted out his trunk. I think I showed you that. That's where I stuck my thumb. It's just all rotted out underneath here. I don't think this side is as bad, but that's why I cut all that like I did. I'm gonna put it down here. So yeah, let me pour 15 that trunk area, and then we'll start on the inside for now and get the headliner, that rear piece, and all that. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I scraped it all out, blew all the dust out. Just I bought these little 6-packs of pour 15 and just brush it on there. So that's about what I'm doing. Yeah, I found my notes that I did on it, and I had a bunch of patches. There's a patch there, patch there, patch there, and I don't know, I can't remember. It's a 3-piece floor though. 1, 2, 3. It's all welded in there. I remember taking out the gas tank and everything. But anyway, this pour 15 should protect it for the rest of its life. I just sprayed some black paint on there that, well, the water just got underneath of it and lifted it all up. But anyway, I want to at least get that done, and I don't know how the floors are going to be. It's probably been leaking in the floors too, but we're not taking the whole interior out to check. We can look at it underneath. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, got that trunk done. Started taking off the trim here. You can see what I did 10 years ago. I really filled all this in with silicone before the moldings to keep it from leaking in water. But I think it was probably like coming from here. Leaking down in there or something. But yeah, I mean, I tried 10 years ago. I told, you know, Art was just, oh, just patch it up, paint it. Like, Art, your car is just rotted. So anyway, let me tear some of this stuff out with a knife. Hopefully that back window will come right out. Not going to take the window out right yet. I'm going to take all the interior first, but I'll dig some of this out for now, because it always looks like rain. So okay, I'll be back. I'll probably take the front trim off here too. See, all this is just all. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I took all this out here. So I started scraping some of this loose paint, because back here it's all Bondo. It used to have a half vinyl top. And I keep coming across this green. See, there's green there, green on the hood. Then even on there's green bolts on the deck lid. Also, this deck lid was all Bondo. I never done any of this, but this is all Bondo here. Like I said, he's had it fixed a few times. Okay, because he told me the original color was silver. Well, there's the silver right there. So it was silver, and he painted it green and then black. I don't know. So here's a little bit of green there too, a little overspray or something. Anyway, this is all the stuff. This is the stuff that's $100 now. That was new. I don't know how it got all these marks on there, but it was new 10 years ago, and it came right off compared to the ones that came off that one, which were glued on. This one I had just stuck in this groove here, and it stayed in there. So anyway, that's all the little chrome, the rubber track, and all that. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut open a section here to see if this outer skin is glued to the bottom skin or caulked in there or something. Yeah, anyway, I got all the chrome around the window. The other side almost popped out. It's that butyl. But it don't matter if it breaks or not, taking it out. But I dug some of the old stuff out. But yeah, we got to see where we need to splice in the roof. It doesn't look like this is all rotted like the back window, so we might be able to save that, or part of it, the frame of it. Anyway, of course this one's good too, but we're not going to chop. I don't think we're going to chop down this pillar. It depends. So let me cut open some of this roof and see if it's stuck. I'll be back. Okay guys, yeah, she's glued in with whatever they used back in '77. So there's no way of getting this skin off of that one without tearing it up. So we're gonna have to change the whole thing. So we're gonna have to cut down in here on the pillar somewhere. This piece actually unscrews out. There's just one screw at the bottom that's really hard to get out. So we'll have to splice it in about there, and then figure out where we want to splice it in here. And I think that's about it. The rest of it we know how to do it. So anyway, yeah, I figured it was kind of glued or something in there. It's a little rusty, but it's not too bad. But I think I should cut out this back piece here, especially on the other side. I know they got into this area here, this metal here that's over here, and the corners is all rotted out. And they got little pieces of metal brazed in there, and then a whole bunch of Bondo on top. I'm going to show you all that too. That Bondo, this Bondo, the Bondo and the quarter panels, all the rot. So yeah, I have to get a tarp ready. I have to. But anyway, yeah, I have to take the headliner, all that interior pieces I was saying, out, then the glass out, and then we can start cutting. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I pried this apart so you could see. It's all rotted in there. Rotted. There's a piece of metal welded on the outside. I may have done that. But yeah, it was all old Bondo. Yeah, it's just a mess. So yeah, the whole back and corners and everything from that vinyl roof is all rotted out. So yeah, it's best to replace all that anyway. All this stuff is good on the gold car. So yeah, I just figured I'd show you that. I'm gonna cut off these quarter panels here after the roof, and you'll see. You can kind of see down here. There's a patch and a whole bunch of tar and a bunch of crap there. I didn't do any of that. That was already there. And see all the bubbles and rust. She's just thick. She's just thick in there. So yeah, I'm gonna just cut off quarter panels like that, and I'll show you. She's a mess. Like I said, all in here was all rotted. Okay, let me start taking the interior apart and get this roof ready to cut off. Okay guys, I got all the plastic and headliner out. It's just glued a little bit around the edges. You just got to pull that in the front, pull that apart, and then with these things you just slide them. They're in here, you just slide them back and they fall down. So you can pull the whole thing out. Now the thing is, it's got a barrier in between the headliner and the roof. The back piece stayed in. The front half is just all in pieces. It's this stuff here. It's just a real mess. I don't know if the one on that one's any good. I don't know if I don't think I pulled the headliner out of that one. Anyway, we'll see what we can do with that. So I pulled the seat belts loose, pulled the interior wiring. One was there and one was on the front. Then all the plastic all the way there. I just got to take this stuff off that driver's side, then push the windows out, cut the back one a little bit. It should pop out. That front one, we're just going to force it because I know that left front is loose. We're just going to force it out. It'll probably smash, but oh well. We don't want to break the back one. Okay, and we'll figure out how to cut it off. Oh, well, yeah, I'll take off all this headlight and rear panel and these deals here. So yeah, I'll take them off too. I'll take everything off before I start chopping it. Yeah, this would be a good candidate to chop the roof, you know, lower it. But I don't want to make all new windows to fit it. Okay, yeah, on this car, ain't worth it. Ain't worth the extra trouble and expense. Okay, well, let me come back and we'll get the rest of this stuff out. Okay guys, got all this tail light area here taken out. Yeah, this was all rusty here. See the holes there and there. That's why we're replacing all that. It's all rusty. Okay, so I got most of the quarter panel cut off. You see here, hang on. Man, I don't know. I think it's had a couple of quarters on it. This is a patch here. This is probably what I put on, this one patch. But that patch, I don't know. See all the Bondo there? Yeah, she's kind of... See, this piece is supposed to be on there. That's some type of brace. Anyway, I gotta cut all this off here. It's pretty thick Bondo right in here. We may have to... This is just hanging there. Oh, it's just hanging on just by that little thing there. So you can see a patch down here. A patch, and they pulled it or something. But yeah, well, this is good. That's good. Oh, there's some patches in here. Probably have to build a little bit of a patch right in there to weld the new quarter on. Fixing it. Yeah, that lip's not on there very good. That's all right. We'll cut a little section off that, weld it in there if we have to. But yeah, I got all the interior out. I think I showed that. So yeah, you can see all this rust up under here. And here's a big patch that went below this window. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the other side too. And then tomorrow we'll take the glass out and cut the rest of it and lift that thing off. And then trim this up, get it ready to put on there. But yeah, it's coming along. Yeah, that poor 15's all dry now. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay guys, new day. I cut out this area here as well. There's a quarter panel. Patch there that I probably did 10 years ago. You can see where it was all just, the whole bottom had rotted out. Amazingly, this bottom is not too bad. So yeah, there's a lot of rust in here, but I think we can just pour 15 it all. It should be all right. They said this brace is supposed to be there. We got a lot of trimming to do to get the new quarter panels to fit on there, but you can see all the old Bondo here where it was all rotted out. All the wheel well was rotted out. I think this is another patch panel or Bondo, all this. So I probably made all that, but that's where it was bubbling mostly, was all in there. And yeah, we got to trim it all the way up to here. Well, we'll get it all trimmed up later, but right now we're going to concentrate on getting the windows out and getting this roof cut out. Here's the other. See, this was a real mess here. See, it was just a mess. Yeah, driver's side quarter. Okay, yeah, I got to trim up this. I got to trim up the quarters, get that them ready to put on. But like I said, we're going to We're gonna join the new roof in here somewhere. I still got to take off this chrome and weather stripping on this side. Both cars there, this chrome is dented up. I doubt you can buy that new, but anyway, I got to take that trim off, and then we can pop both windows out and then start cutting. I'll show you how I'm going to do this pillar. So yeah, cut this whole back end out and then cut the pillars and then lift it off. And then we got to trim up this. The best I can do trying to get it all cut to fit, to put it on there and have everything fit perfectly, is going to be pretty tough. But I'll do the best I can until we get it up there. I'll probably have to call over a friend of mine, Tommy, and we're going to lift that on there. And then after that, I'll have to trim it some more and weld it in there. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, let me do some more cutting and stuff, and I'll be back later, show you the progress. Okay guys, I got her off. That's it. Old rotten and Bondo. There was some of that brazing going on there. I probably put that silicone on there 10 years ago. Yeah, she's a mess. Okay, this side isn't too bad in here. We'll go with the other side. She's a little rotten inside here. Oh, here. Hole right there. I could come in here and weld some metal in there. I don't think it needs it, but I might do it. We got a lot of prep to go to get this other roof assembly to come on there. We're gonna weld it to this tab here, so we need to cut all this and grind everything. Got to get this so an area can slide in there. These posts here, I'll show you how I'm gonna do it, but I measured it to the top of the lip there. We're gonna get some metal and put in here and have it sticking out about an inch, because there's a marking right here about an inch, and I put this one on the bottom and I'm gonna do the other one on the top, just so it, in case it's not level like that. So we're gonna put some metal inside here sticking out. The new roof will slide on there, and we weld both this and the other piece to it, so it'll be plenty strong. We'll have to do something like that to this. We're gonna get something that'll slide down in here and weld it in here. Yeah, she's something. Here's the original silver. And all this is, he had the interior painted red at one time. There's a whole bunch of red overspray. We may redo that in red. You can see it here. Faded. May get a couple of cans of red and redo that. This dash is a cap. You can see right here, it's a cap. I don't know how much they are. There was a nice cap on that one, black one, and I put it on the 76 El Camino, so I didn't have to buy one. But it's only that crack there. This could be painted, but we'll figure it out. That'll be the last thing we do to it. Right now we got to prep all this. Not going to prep for the quarters yet, just the roof. I really We'd rather get the roof on there in case it rains. But no rain forecast for the next week. So I should be able to get this done, but you got to worry about the morning dew and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna get some Pour 15, clean all this up. Need to clean all this. Yeah, somebody put some more silicone on there. We're gonna clean up all this area here where the new windshield to get urethaned in, and cut this where it needs to be so the new one will go on. Like I said, it'll line up to these holes over top. We'll weld it. Get this roof out of the way. I'd rather, it says Landau on these windows. I'd like to take them out, but I'm afraid they're in there. The other ones don't say Landau, but they're loose. I can put them in. Anyway, may take those windows out. We'll have to check the roof insulation and check the clip situation, make sure all the clips are in there. Oh, this one doesn't move. That one doesn't move, but the other one does. A little bit of rust here, but not right through or nothing. But yeah, we're gonna clean all this up, put a little Pour 15 on any rust that's showing. Yeah, she's rusty right in here on the firewall, but this deal here is pretty solid. We don't know if we're changing the fenders. See, these fenders here look gold. I should call Art up and ask him if he's... The fenders may have rusted first, and he may have put on some gold fenders, and then before his last black paint job. I don't know. We'll have to see. And yeah, it used to have the chrome on there, I said before, and it had these side moldings that gold one has. Little factory, you can tell the factory, they got the little clip there. They go right in a little screw hole. But yeah, we'll probably not put them on there. And then here's all the clips for the big moldings on the door and stuff. So whenever they painted it, they just took all that off and said, here you go, Art. So yeah, that'll be, like to put all that chrome back on it, but I think the bottom's okay. It's just these wheel well ones. I think it's a couple of $100 for new ones. I'd like to put all the chrome on there, but we'll figure it out. Okay, well, let me start cleaning this up and cleaning that up and cleaning that up, getting it ready. It's gonna be a day or two worth of work doing that, I think. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I've been grinding it up, getting it ready to set down. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with this. You know, when I said this wiggled, I didn't mean these wiggles. I meant these back ones here. They move. Yeah, these ones are not supposed to move. They wiggled, being for a... Okay, so... you probably can't see it here. There's a little dip from here to here. Okay, so on the black car I cut it there, and then on here I cut it up there. Maybe it wasn't that much, maybe it was only about an inch. Let me see here. Yeah, right there. Okay, so on the car I cut it there. On this, I'm gonna cut it there. So we're gonna have about an inch of play in it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a couple of inches off of this down to about here, and I'm gonna squeeze this. I'm gonna cut and put a couple of spot welds in there, cut this edge off, and it's kind of hard to explain, but what we want is a piece that's going to slide in here. Because trying to get it matched up exactly, butted up, it ain't going to work. And plus it's not a very safe way to do it. Could be, but... So basically, we want a piece that's going to slide into this hole. Okay? And then we're going to stick it in there. And then we're going to tack weld it around the edge here. And then it's going to be sticking out. And when we put the roof in, when the roof comes in, it's going to slide over top of it. It's actually like that. It's going to slide over the top of that, and then you can adjust it to where you want it to be. Then you weld it. Then you weld this end and the other end and weld it all up solid. So that's how we're doing it. So I got to cut a couple inches off of here, and let me do that, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I cut the piece, but I cut it in between the spot welds, so it actually came apart, which is probably better to okay, so we're going to slide that in. I'm going to bend that just a little bit more, but basically it's going to go in there like that, and then we'll cut this. I'll spot that weld in, and then this piece here will cut, and we'll put that in there. See what I mean? Then the new roof will just slide over top of this. Sorry if I'm not aiming the camera right. Okay. It's going to basically be like that. And I'll get this little piece. I'm going to put that on there and tack it in before it slides all the way down in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay. I got them two pieces in there and welded and grinded the edge there. So the other one the roof will slide over top there and stop about here, and then we'll just weld her up solid. But then the only piece that'll be missing is this piece here, and we'll just cut off a little piece and weld it in there. And yeah, just gotta do that to the other side, and then figure out we're gonna have to do something like that to these. I'll figure that out once I start cutting this apart. So I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got this one in there. That's it. I'll just slide over top there. Okay, let me flip the roof over and figure out how I want to do this. It's going to be kind of the same way, but I can't I can't open that up. I'm not going to cut the outside, just the inside, and we're going to weld it from the inside. So that's what's going to be tricky about that. But yeah, anyway, they'll just stick right up in here and weld her up solid. I've been thinking about that movie, The 7-Ups, with Roy Scheider. This Pontiac Ventura, the crash scene at the end. What they done, from the comments, the crew, a guy from the crew was on the comments, and he said what they did was they took a Sawzall and cut this and left just a little bit of the pillar right here, basically just, but didn't cut it all the way. And that's at the after the car chase, the wreck. So if you ever seen that, or you want to see it, you can just watch the chase scene from the movie The 7-Ups and see what happens when you do that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, just letting Nikki out. Rounded up a tarp Got some holes in it, but it's better than nothing. It's mainly for the keep the morning dew off of it. But anyways, I think we'll end the video with that. I was inside and it's already about an hour long. I could just keep going and going and going, but we got to break these videos up. I still haven't aired the first one as of recording this, so I haven't seen any comments about this car. But keep the comments coming. These videos will be coming out one after another, I think. I got to at least keep going until it's all weathered in, which means roof, quarter panels, glass, trunk. Got to paint all that stuff too before we put it on, trunk lid. Then after that, I may take a break, go back to the van, or continue on with the doors, check the fenders out. Lots of welding, just so a lot of work still to go on this, guys. A lot of welding. But anyway, we'll end it there, and let me know if you think this thing is worth doing all this work to. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's a lot of labor. So yeah, next video we'll get this ready to put the roof on, and we'll start a new video on that. Get the roof on, get it all welded in there, start doing some welding, seam sealing, pour 15, get it ready for the glass. A ton of work. How you doing, Nikki? You okay? Nikki's a good girl. Okay, guys, well, subscribe if you haven't. Keep an eye out. Subscribe if you haven't. Bottom right hand corner of the screen. It's free. Hit the notification bell. Keep an eye out. We're going one after another here. It's good weather. I should be on Hot Rod Power Tour, but I wish I went, but instead we're working on this. So like, comment, share, all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.